Undeterred by rejection from the Air Force because of his phenomenally poor eyesight, it's true, Jar built his own high-fidelity fighter jet simulator. After acquiring a real Hornet windshield in 2003, Jar made the obvious decision to build a full-size F-18 cockpit in his garage. I mean, look at the skilled workmanship, just tremendous. 20 years later, he's still hard at work on his dream of being the best fighter pilot the world has ever seen. Believe me. Let's check in on Jar and see what he's up to today.
Well, we have successfully returned from cruise and we're back in the beautiful San Diego harbor. I was trying to remember where I parked my car, but here we are here. This is us, the F-150. But this video is also about the Logitech Creative console. It's, well, I wanted to make a cockpit tour to show you what I'd put in above the WinWing PTO panel. Very thanks to Larry, who generously offered to send me for free a WinWing, I can't remember what the name of it is, it's a little panel, but Larry, you're a top bloke. Thank you. I didn't need it. I put this little thing in there, and so I'll do a review on that. It's a backlit panel that you plug in with USB-C, and it has little screens that you can assign macros to and put images behind, which I'm going to share with you guys. And that's really neat. But it also comes with this little Bluetooth module for video editing. It has a scrubbing wheel and some shortcut buttons, which I actually take with me everywhere. So when I'm editing our videos in public, I've got this crazy little thing beside me. So that's pretty neat too. But yeah, thank you for Ecto for requesting a cockpit tour. So I hope you enjoy that as well. And in other news, Boscoh has the Top Hook trophy now. And here's some footage of Boscoh enjoying the trophy.
Oh, dude, that is freaking awesome. Look at that. All right. Wow, that looks absolutely amazing. Take a look at that. That looks super cool. So this is a great group. I love spending time with them and love flying, and this trophy means a lot. So glad to have it. All right, I'm gonna go clean this thing up a little bit and give it some polish, and I'm gonna put it in its home for the next year until somebody takes it from me. See ya.
Congratulations again, Boscoh, for winning Top Hook 2025. That's all from me. I really hope you enjoy this video. Hey folks, this week, just a quick cockpit tour. This is CJ Heater Heatley's name on the side of my Hornet. He was kind enough to supply this image here, which takes up the whole wall of this simulator room. It is from his excellent book, The Cutting Edge, of which I'm fortunate enough to have 2 copies. It's a fantastic book. And as a bit of an update to the room, the Top Hook board is up here. I was worried about Grey Wolf from Death from Above stealing it and replacing the Hornet with a Tomcat. So that's where the Top Hook trophy lives when we're not deployed. And here's a bit of a model tour for folks. This top shelf is all Stingers models. You can see that KAG aircraft, that's the one Kerr flies. This is a Top Hatters one, and Boscoh and I were actually in the Top Hatters when we were in Jane's FA-18. So that's why there's a Top Hatters one there. And then there's a couple of Tomcats. And this is the USS Michael Murphy. That's the Trumpeter 1/350 scale kit, which I built. And there's a resin, it's a veteran models Seahawk helicopter. And this is the 132 Tamiya F-14 Tomcat. This won first place at a model show years ago. And this is the A-10, it's a Trumpeter 132, and I modeled it after the real one that got hit by a SAM. So it's got a bit of battle damage there on the wing. Wouldn't get away with that nose art nowadays. And that is a beacon from the next movie, spoilers. And then down here there's a Pukin Dogs Hornet, and that was what we flew in VNAO. And then there's some the Cobra and the Humvee. Okay, now let's climb into the F-18 and we'll give you a quick update on what's been going on. So the Moser AB9 is still going strong. It works really, really well. The WinWing PTO panel still works perfectly. And then you'll notice above it, this is the Logitech Creative console. Let me zoom in a little bit there. So this has obviously backlit or buttons that you can light up, and let me know if anyone wants them, but I've made, these are just applications, but then you can change the page, and then these are my DCS ones. So obviously these are F-18 specific. These are the ones that are up on this panel here, the master arm, air-to-ground mode, air-to-air mode. This one here is hide show pilot body, bogey dope. So press that and it calls the AWACS and does a bogey dope through a sequence of button presses. This turns on the gem, because you know that button, the ECM, you know, it's very hard to access that button that's in front of the stick underneath the center panel. And this is the rearm window, and this one does all the radio menu stuff you need for the tanker when you call for fuel. So when I press that one, it goes through all the radio menu and calls the tanker. And then this is one of the reasons I really like the Warthog throttle, and I haven't thought about replacing it, is I really like that some of the buttons are right underneath the throttles. So this one here I've got assigned to the refuel probe extend. So what I do is when I'm flying and I've called the tanker and I'm ready to go, as I'm transitioning to the behind the wing, I'll press that with my thumb. So I can just drop my thumb off the throttle. So I'm flying formation with the tanker, and I can just pop my thumb down, flick that, and the probe comes out, and then put it away, I just go like that. So yeah, there's many reasons that I love the Warthog throttle, and that's one of them. I love having buttons that I can reach with my thumb while I'm still flying formation or something like that. So that's really cool. So yeah, this is I was really, because it's not an inexpensive item, this Logitech Creative console, and I was worried that I wouldn't use all of it, but I really love it. There's a few quirks with it. It's supposed to be app specific, so technically when I start DCS it should auto change to this page. I found that didn't work, so I just put everything in the one profile and just use the buttons, and I like that. I like having the control to be able to do that. And then these ones are just apps, so obviously that's my Moser, Cockpit softwares, DCS, Track IR, Virtual Desktop, TeamSpeak, OVGME, and the NVIDIA app. But yeah, I haven't fully fleshed it out. I want to add buttons for other aircraft. But if you do end up getting one of these and you want a hand with the little icons, I can provide you with whatever icons you need, or I can give you the ones that I've already made. But it's basically just a little image that you make in Photoshop or something like that. And yeah, and then I've got this center MFD, but I'm not sure if I explained how this is working. So it isn't actually hooked up to DCS. That is just a screenshot, that screen. But it is being run from my MacBook, which I'll show you in a second. And this MFD is hooked up to the game, so this does work. It is actually the MFD. But what I tend to do, see this little button here, because this is a Logitech keyboard and that's a Logitech Creative console, I pretty much just use the Logitech software. And this button here, because now when you land on the ship, you have to go park and everything and then request a launch. So I end up just respawning on the cat each time. So I have to set up TACAIR and ILS and everything each time. So I press that button and that runs, a macro, and it does everything. It turns TACAIR on, puts the frequencies in. It's just, yeah, it's a bit of a thing. But I do so many carrier launches that I found that it's just nice to be able to hit fly, press that, everything gets programmed, and I can just launch and practice and not have to worry about it each time. So that's pretty cool. And if we go over here, so this is the MacBook, and the reason this is here is because this records the traps audio from our LSO, but it's also driving this screen here. So this screen is actually hooked up, and that's, like I said, that's a dead display. So it's always on, which is cool. Like I don't have to be in game to get this. Yeah, and it gives you a hint. So when this is actually up and running, I can turn TACAIR on, change the scale, change the mode to get rid of the map. That's pretty much all I use this for. And like I said, the good thing about this panel here is you can see it easily through the nose gap in VR, and see you're quite way back. The buttons are quite big. I haven't used any other streaming index or anything like that. I imagine their software is probably a bit better than the software on this. I haven't used it, so I don't know. But I really like this because these are quite big. You can see that they're quite a large button, so it's easy to see in VR, and I've got them sort of color coded so I can easily tell what it is. And over here is another neat little thing. This is a Joby MagSafe adapter for use on tripods, but as you can see, I have my phone in here, and I can just put it there. So when we're doing carrier landings, I can quickly tell everyone what points they have during the top hook or doing the flat cam, and then I can just quickly remove this and put it on tripod, and that's what I use for filming all our movies and stuff when I've got stuff on a tripod. And then I just take it off a tripod and put it back in here, and then I can just dump my phone on it, and it sits there like that. That's pretty cool, because for years I've just had my phone floating around in the cockpit, which was a bit silly. And up here, this is a compass that I bought years and years ago. It is a military compass. I got it off eBay, like everything else. It's not hooked up to power. I don't know if it's the same one that's in an F-18, but it looks exactly the same. And then I just made up this little bracket. So it looks very similar to the one in the real jet. Next time you jump in your cockpit, have a look, and you'll see that it's very similar. And when I was playing with it, I took this cover off, and this is in here as the adjustment, so that you can so they do a compass swing in an aircraft. So they'll take an aircraft out away from big structures like buildings and things, and then they'll point the aircraft at different headings, and then they'll adjust these little screws in here, and it changes the zeroing, I guess, of the compass, so to make it accurate. I've actually done that in real life to a helicopter, and it's pretty interesting. So the compass has to be calibrated, and then they can actually record deviations on a little chart, so the pilots know. A lot of people that are real pilots would be sitting here laughing at that bad explanation, but I'll see if I can put some video in of that working, so you can see how interesting it is. This thing that you slide in here, it has looks like little magnets or something on it, and then little micro adjustments alter where this is reading. That's pretty neat. So that's one of the new features, and it's the king of procrastination. I had this for years, and it took me a long time to get around to putting this on, but now it's on, and it feels really cool to have that there now. And then this is the MacBook that just sits there and does traps audio and powers this little screen. All right, well, that's a bit of a rundown on where everything is at the moment. So I hope that is interesting to someone. And look, the little light's still working. I don't know if you saw my angle of attack video, but that still works, so that's pretty cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video. I've really got to go.
Hey guys, Boscoh here. So we're going to be doing an unboxing video today. Jar sent us over the top hook trophy, and we've known this was coming for a while, but we're pretty happy to get into it. So let's go ahead and get started here. So we've got the Hornet in here with the mounting bracket. And this is going to be the trophy. Go ahead and get this open. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. All right, here is the base. There we go. Trophy front right there. Yeah, probably should have went in this way to begin with. Oh boy. All right. There we go. All right, we got it. This was awesome. Go. Got that. All right. That's awesome. Very nicely packaged equipment here. Receipt. I'm gonna make sure not to show that on camera, lest we dox anybody. Oh, dude, that is freaking awesome. Look at that. That is super cool. Sweet, man. It's an honor to be on that trophy. It is an honor. All right, let's get this baby put together. Okay, so we've got our screws on the bottom here. So we're gonna go ahead and take those out, get the mounting plate put on. And I think what we might do is get our screw gun and drive these in. Be right back. All right, so we got our screw gun and those are driven in. We're just gonna hand tighten them here. Don't wanna strip these. And there we go. All right. Now let's get the Hornet mounted. Let me. All right, so I just needed to reference Jar's video that he made and see what the orientation of this bracket was supposed to be, because it didn't quite look right the way that I was trying to put it on, and that's because it wasn't right the way that I was trying to put it on. So we got that figured out now. We'll go ahead and get this attached. All right. Wow, that looks absolutely amazing. Take a look at that. That looks super cool. So I met Jar. This trophy is pretty special for me. So I met Jar in, gosh, I don't know what it was, late 90s, in Jane's F-18 in a matchmaking service called Hyper Lobby. So we would get on there and find matches to go up against other people, do dogfights and all the rest of that stuff. And we flew for the Top Hatters. And we became good friends and lost touch over the years in the early 2000s. And then mid 2010s, we reconnected. I can't remember if I reached out to him or if he reached out to me. But we reconnected, and he invited me to come fly with the boys, and I've been flying with them ever since. And this is a great group. I love spending time with them and love flying, and this trophy means a lot. So glad to have it. All right, I'm gonna go clean this thing up a little bit and give it some polish, and I'm gonna put it in its home for the next year until somebody takes it from me. See ya.